Hey guys, it's Jason here. Today is February 13th, 2013, and this is the 4th episode of Bitcoin Weekly. Now this week hasn't had the same amount of intensity as previous weeks have had with news coming out of the Bitcoin community, but it still has a decent amount of news, so sit back, relax, and enjoy this amazing newscast you're about to receive. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is a new service that has come out, and this is called BitCoinGet. Now you go to BitCoinGet.com, and this is how you get to the service. What happens is when you go to the website opens up, you type in your Bitcoin receiving address, and once you do this, it opens up to a page with 4 videos. Now you choose which video you want to watch, so you click on the video you want to watch, and after completing watching the video, you type in, you guys know how like on the websites, to confirm that you're a human, you gotta type in these there's all these screwed up characters, you gotta type in the text. Well, that's what you gotta do. So basically you watch the video, you type in this 5-digit character screwed up letter looking thing, and you click submit, and it will save this to your pending account history. And then after you watch 2 or 3 videos, it will pay you, and it takes 6-7 hours to pay you. So while it's not the greatest thing ever invented, it is kind of cool. Now your next question might be, well, how much do you get paid? Do you get paid a Bitcoin? No, you don't get paid a Bitcoin. You get paid 0.00250. Which is, it's the little U with the little line under it is the abbreviation or the subunit on Bitcoin currency. So no, you're not gonna get rich off of it. But hey, if you're already watching YouTube videos, why not get paid a couple cents to watch videos? It's kind of like the reverse, where people get paid to put videos on YouTube and get money off the ads. You're getting paid to watch those videos. So it's kind of a benefit not only to the creator, but to you for watching. So that's a cool little service I saw pop up a couple days ago. I thought, well, that'd be kind of cool to show the audience. So our next one is something that we've all been waiting for, and I think it's kind of cool, is the first ASIC miner has joined a mining group, or whatever you want to call them, and it has joined BTC Guild. And I think this is kind of cool because for the first time we have an ASIC miner has officially joined one. There have been ones that have been tested out in the wild, running on their own, but for the first time it's joined up with their their brethren in the GPU. And if there's still any CPU miners out there, I really hope not, because they're wasting more energy than it's worth. But so it's working together. Now a couple days ago, which would have been 2 or 3 days ago, it came out and it was running about 800 gigahashes. But today, the day of this podcast, it is now at 1.4 terahashes. Man, that's a lot. To give some comparison, Bitcoin's currently, the network hash rate is 30 terahashes, so it's 1/30th of it. So you might ask yourself, well, how much money are they making? Well, at current prices, which is about $26, they're making about $5,500 a day. Now that's U.S. currency, but that's a lot of money. That's a lot more money than I think a lot of people make a month. So that's pretty crazy. So we'll keep watching out for that. But as these ASIC miners come in, we're going to see a whole new change. I think there's this tendency period where you don't have the ASIC miners, and then to the point where you have them, and this vast unknown in between. Some people are going to make a lot of money off this. Now, the next thing is, I read this on the Bitcoin Reddit, and this is more of a serious talk, and I really want to give my personal insight into this. To give you guys some reference, I'm not just some kid doing this. I have 4 or 5 economic classes I've already taken. I mean, general business, accounting, macroeconomics. So I know what I'm talking about when I talk about this. And I know the history of economics, so I can kind of give you guys an insight. There's a post on the Reddit comments or whatever, and this guy was talking about how he had invested, his retirement, his life savings, and actually took out loans for money to buy Bitcoin. I want to give you guys a history lesson real quick. This is what happened in the 1930s, before the Great Depression. Everybody was taking money they didn't have, they were, loaning this money, and they were getting into the stock market. Well, what happened was, people were using money they didn't have for money, so this whole economy was kind of based on this non-existent money, and it collapsed. As we know, the Great Depression. So you never borrow money you don't have, period. But you don't borrow money you don't have to invest. It's just something you don't do. So this guy was talking about, oh, well, he got it when it was at 14 Bitcoins, and now it's at, 26 Bitcoins. Well, yeah, it's a 26% increase, but there's this risk factor. And also, there's this saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I don't want to discredit this guy, but it's foolish to do so. Just I have no more than 20% of my money in Bitcoin. you diversify. That's how you make money. Yeah, you might not make the most money, but if something happens to one, you're still safe. And I know this guy said, yeah, in the long run it might not pan out. And he talked about how he still had student loans, and I questioned it in my own head, like, okay, I can see, putting money in, playing money, or a little bit of investment money into Bitcoin, which I encourage. But to take out money from a bank account, first of all, you never do intercurrency changes, or extra currency. Like, I wouldn't take US dollars, take a loan out, and then invest that in European, companies. You just don't do it. It's this idea that if currency jumps one way or another, you could lose a lot of money. Yeah, there's a profit to be made, but the risk, it baffles me. There's very few things that have baffled me in Bitcoin because I can see points in it of everybody, but this is just one of those things I'm warning you guys. This is just bad. This is bad for the Bitcoin community and Bitcoin stability as a market whole. So it really disappointed me, but I guess you can see his point. He's made what, 26% increase in his money already. But I don't know. I feel disheartened with that. I don't know. I don't encourage anybody to do that. That's what started the Great Depression, and it's not good for your own personal wealth, no matter how much you can gain. Anyway, the next coming up is, I think I've already talked about. We are now at $26. $26 will get you one Bitcoin. I think we're soon. My prediction is within the next week we're gonna hit the $30 mark. Now, will that happen? I don't know. Because here's the reason. Since my last video last week, we have went at $5.5. So $5.50. That's a lot of money. And I think I mentioned it just a couple seconds ago. That's 26%. We have our economy. The value of our economy or the currency that we hold, has almost a fourth of the way it went up. 26%. That's crazy, guys. That's a lot of increase in money. Almost too high. It makes you start to question the stability of it. But if it's going to go up, I think the reasoning is I relate it to all these new companies starting in Bitcoin. The gambling sites. It's really pulling a lot of people in. So we'll just have to wait and see. But man, it's a great improvement for Bitcoin. Now, some of the other stuff we have is, and I actually have been contacting this guy, and I'm going to do a review for you guys, is the Bitcoin keychain. This guy created a whole bunch of Bitcoin keychains. They're all the same. Maybe I'll put a picture up somewhere around here. Maybe I will. I don't know. And I'm going to do a review about it. I've already emailed the guy. We're going to get me a free one, or I'm actually going to pay for it. I don't know how this is going to go down, but I'm going to do a review of it because I think it's going to be pretty awesome to show you guys. I'm pretty excited, and I'll be pretty proud to have one on my keychain. So that's always a positive. I was a little afraid at the beginning whether it was a scam or not, but now that we have like 3 or 4 confirmations that it isn't, I'm pretty excited. I think it's pretty awesome. So that's that. The hash rate, again, has went up. Not incredibly much, but it has went up, so it's kind of interesting to watch. I think in the next 2 weeks we're going to see a huge increase in hash ratio. It's just going to go crazy with all these new ASIC miners joining in. So that's to be watched out for. Really, it's going to be really unstable to predict right now, so it's just going to be out there. The next is, and I think this is crazy, and this is just my own personal, viewing experience, and I watched this and it kind of blew me away. I was at school today about 3 o'clock, and it was at 25, the total, Bitcoin networking hash rate was at 25 terahashes. Just at 6 o'clock when I checked Bitcoin, it was at 30 terahashes. Now, I know, things go on and off all the time, but it just amazes me that 5 terahashes of computing power can just turn on and off. So if anyone has any idea, I looked it up, but I can't really figure out the true reasoning. It just seems very unstable. So maybe I'll talk about it in my next edition, because it's just kind of crazy. I think that's pretty unstable. So maybe it's just people testing out these new ASIC miners. That'd be kind of cool, right? So there's that. Also, I know I always talk about this every edition. This is the first one. I think it's the lowest it's been. Is the division of computing power. I'm always talking about, oh my gosh, we're over 50%. We better watch out. If these are multiple people working on unnamed solo mining, it could be dangerous. Well, today I happen to announce to you guys we have only 2 unknowns. One's at 30 and one's at 1%. So total we only got 31%. We're a lot safer now because we know, and they're all distributed. I think the highest one is like a 41%. So now we have another safety limit. We know Bitcoin is safe from the 51% attack. So that's always something to look forward to, and just kind of exciting to see the diversification in Bitcoin. Next up is, and I should have said this at the beginning, but I had this later on my list, is SoundCloud for the premium service. I don't know if you guys know what SoundCloud is. It's basically kind of like a digital cloud storage of your audio music, or not music, but like audio files and stuff. And they have a premium service, which is now available to be bought with Bitcoins. So Bitcoins are really pushing their way out. They're saying, hey, look, we're going to be able to buy anything we want with Bitcoins in the next few years, which, trust me, I really hope that happens, because how awesome would that be to be able to buy anything you want with Bitcoins? Come on. So that's that. One more thing, and it's really all I have left, because, you know, this week has been not very crazy. It's not as much news coming out of the Bitcoin community as I would have liked, but I'm sure the next week with the new ASIC miners coming out and stuff, we'll see. Which brings me to my last point, is a new ASIC miner. And get ready, this is about to blow you away. I was reading a blog, and they're working on this huge, big, like, ASIC server farm. And I started looking through the data files and everything, and somebody had commented about this, and it blew me away. It should be ready within a week or two. And it will have the computing power, however you want to say it, right, of 10 to, take this back, 10 to 12 terahashes. 1/3 of the total networking computing power right now, it will be able to achieve. I mean, this is crazy. You know, we talked about beforehand that 1.4 terahashes will get you 5,500 a day, you know, 5,500. How much will 10 to 12 get you? Oh my gosh. At least 20,000, 25,000, maybe on a good day. You know, there's a saying that, you know, the early bird gets the worm. In this case, it's so true. The early bird, the first person to really push this out, this, in a week or two, they're going to make so much money, it's going to recuperate all their losses and even give them a profit, which I personally find it crazy. I think it's just interesting. I love to see the development stage of stuff, so seeing that just blows me away. So that wraps it up. I have one last thing to cover, and that's just another thank you. I'll put the donation address down here again, but I talked about it last week, and you guys were awesome. I mean, you guys were literally awesome. I got like 3 or 4 more donations, each ranging from like 25 cents to like $1.50, and it just blew me away. You know, I love the fact that you guys are so open to saying, hey, here's a great job, here's a tip. And it just, you know, yeah, I make money off these ads on, you know, the YouTube videos, but having someone actually donate money, it just, it gives me that sense of satisfaction. Like, good job. And I really appreciate that. Again, you guys, I have a subreddit on Reddit, so if you guys want to go post anything you guys want sent in, I got an email down in the description too. It's gamersgonetech@gmail. Email me up, guys, because I would love to cover what you guys want to know about. So that wraps it up for today. So this is episode 4. Get ready for episode 5 next week, and maybe, just maybe, if we're lucky, we'll hit the $30 mark. So cross your fingers. Have a great day. Thanks.